Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Sepia Lake 7 by 14. I did this last week. I'm super happy with it. I'm going to tell you the tale. Now, this would be a good one to check out on the Substack Studio Pass members area. Lots of great information to impart, and you're kind of seeing it all sped up here, but plenty of good info here too. So let's talk about it. Here's the story. So you see me painting there, and you can see that is not a photo in the little reference area. That is um, that's a painting I did. Oh gosh, back in 2020, which it's hard to believe, isn't it? Anyway, I've done lots of iterations of this scene. I am not absolutely positive if it made it onto the channel or not. I suspect not. I seem to recall having problems with the video, and the image you're looking at there is a screenshot from that video, and it's really the only image I have of that painting. It was just a problem. I don't know if I'd photographed it or what the deal was, but it's long gone. It's sold. Anyway, fast forward. I think I mentioned on the last easel talk I have done all the formatting for the print version of Volume 2. Volume 1 has a lot of formatting done. This is my new book series coming out soon, like, I don't know when, probably next year sometime. But anyway, we're working on it. And for the back cover, I wanted this painting, and I tried to pop it in there, but because of its nature of being a screenshot, it just was insufficient. So I thought, well, fine, I'll make a copy. And that's what I did. I made a fairly close copy. It's not identical, but it's definitely a lot closer than, say, what I normally do when I'm going to revisit a scene that I've painted before. Now you will see we're in the drawing portion here, and for the drawing portion it was very important to me to get all of my intervals in the right spots. By intervals I mean the areas in between the positive vertical shapes. So I wanted that very similar. There were some differences that ended up manifesting, but that's fine. In general, with a cursory glance, I couldn't, like say on my computer in a folder, I was saying, well, which one is this, you know? I do think the new version was a little warmer, and one of the things I was after in that previous version was kind of doing more of a gray in the background and a warm in the front, where here I did a little bit of that, but I wanted to keep the overall feeling much warmer, and that's what I did. So also I think in the members area I did record it. I put up a video showing how I would approach doing special gridding. You can see here I didn't do my typical M. Francis grid of just dividing the picture in half each way. I actually divided it in 4 each way so that I could get a little better idea, and I used that as my reference to you know, basically get the drawing done. Now the thing is, I don't think it's a great plan, and that's why you'll see after. Oh, by the way, we've clipped out the. There's a color mixing session that will be in the members area, and also the Substack Studio Pass, which gives you the breakdown on how I put together the palette here, and also was able to get in kind of a little diagram that shows you where all the colors are in the palette and things like that. And bit by bit, I am trying my best to improve the quality of the videos, well, here as well, you know, of course, because I care about you, and I'm really glad you come around and check out what I'm doing. But really, even more so with my live videos, I've just working on affecting a new audio solution that'll give me, because I have had people complain on those live video painting sessions that quite often I'm clear and easy to hear, and then as we get deeper into the painting session itself, you might hear me start to mutter and things like that. So, okay, so we've just crossed over into the color portion of the painting session from earlier this week, and you can see there that is my reference image, and that is a Pictorialist image from the early 20th century would be my guess. I can't tell you who the actual photographer is offhand. I may have known at one point, but it's not his image, or his or hers, I should say. Straight up, they had like some farmhouses and things in the distance, and I sure didn't want to paint that. I made it a lake, and which is the same solution that I effected back in 2020. And I think that works really, really well, because what interests me most about this particular image is the vertical structure of the trees, their interactions, the different widths and the different spaces between them, combined with the value structure. And I think all in all, there's a lot of great stuff going on with that Pictorialist photo. And then you could really see what I liked about the Pictorialist photo, but you can also see my own sense of design and how I like to structure the landscape become more apparent in my painting. Now obviously I could probably have cleaved even closer to this photo than I did, but I'm interested in doing my own thing. I do think the photo's pretty successful, and I tried to maintain a lot of the different aspects of it. The great thing about using old Pictorialist photos as reference is they've already been sort of pre-digested for you. They already are functioning as art. So, I mean, as opposed to, say, using a raw photo that you took with your phone or something, you're going to probably have to apply, I think, you're going to need to apply some artistry to that usually. Okay, the book. Yes, we have New Zealand government has solved all of its issues with the dealing with the U.S. tariffs. There is no tariff on books to the U.S. anyway, but they're making me work a little harder. But I can ship you that book, and it's available now for $65 US, and that is international shipping included. And I've been doing it that way the whole time, because I personally don't like when you're buying something internationally, you go, oh, sure, I want to do it. And funny enough, I had this happen in reverse with somebody who bought it in New Zealand and had a bit of a sticker shock, because the shipping is built in. Anyway, it's available for you, and lots of people have got overwhelming praise for that book, and it's good. It actually is not going to be replaced by the new work I'm doing. The new work I'm doing is an extension of really into painting theory in a broad, deep way, where the first book is a kind of how-to if you're interested in painting how-to tonalist work. Anyway, order it if you're interested, and I'll ship it to you. It'll go out right away. Okay, so we got our drawing done. Now we did our sky, as is always my way. And one of my things with the darks here, and I think it came out quite good in the video, I have struggled lately with sometimes there being a bit of a crowding effect in the darks of the painting as a byproduct of the photography process. But this is giving you a pretty accurate idea. I didn't want those blacks completely dead and cold. So they're mostly comprised of burnt umber with a little bit of Mars black and a little bit of ivory black. And, that's kind of setting up, well, it's so important in this image because, or this painting, I should say. There's not a vast array of, in the reference image you can see it's basically one color middle tone, one color light tone, and one color dark tone, and the dark isn't that dark, and the middle's very middly, and the light is not as bright as it could be, and that's inspiring. But I did a lot more movement in that middle area, although it is definitely constrained by the structure that's being imposed by the darks, and the darks are so important. It's really the key. I wanted some give in the darks, but overall I think the painting still comes off as being predominantly dark, even though there's a bit more give there than, say, if I just gone in with 100% cold ivory black. And ivory black is pretty cold. I use it as a color killer a lot, but increasingly I've been leaning into the Mars black, which is a little warmer and a little more opaque. Gives me a better result. a lot of times because I can work with it a little more thinly. Yeah. So this painting process didn't take a super long time. I want to say about 2.5 hours. You can definitely check that out. Members area and the Substack Studio Pass area. And I of the two, I prefer the Substack Studio Pass. And let me tell you why. Because a lot of times you don't really know what's up. It's a 2.5 hour long session. If you just scan the transcript, which is available there in the Substack Studio Pass, then you'll know right away what's up with the whole session. And then you can even hone in and focus in on the aspects that are pertinent for your own particular learning journey. And I have no illusions. I think everyone is, involved with learning painting for their own reasons. There are probably a few fans I have out there that are, in it just to appreciate the painting, more so than, say, making their own paintings. But if you're into it for making your own paintings, but you like what I do, there's a lot of value. There's a lot of value in the members area of YouTube. Actually, the members area of YouTube is like golden archive. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of live videos there. And what I recommend you do is just have it on in the background as you're doing your paintings. Have a look over once in a while, and it's basically like we're sharing a studio together. But you can see how things come together. And, this is something I think a lot of people, they're just glossing over it because they're spoiled by the tech. Okay, and one advantage I have being a bit older, when I was younger, if you wanted to see somebody putting paintings together, you were talking Bob Ross on PBS. That was it. And I love Bob Ross, and I got a little bit from old Bob. I don't really want my stuff to look like that though, so it was limited. But I tell you what, I was starving to see people putting work together. I would have given my eye teeth when I was younger to have this sort of access and ability to see people just putting paintings together from start to finish. And on my channel is thousands of examples of that. And one day somebody will realize that your host here, Uncle Mike, is the most documented painter in human history. I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. You might think, oh, well, that doesn't sound right. No, okay. I've been recording almost every painting I've done for the last 10 years. And a lot of that's on YouTube. I don't know of anyone else. Either way, you got to get someone to pay attention to all that. And a lot of you do, and you tip in, you tip out, and hopefully it's all in the name of making your own paintings, doing your own work, because that's what you want. You want to make a mark. You're here, you were born, you're experiencing, you're perceiving, and you want to express yourself. And the best way to do that, I think, really, yes, you can do that musically as well, or with writing. I actually do all three: paint, write, and do music. So of the three, don't make me pick. Yeah, probably music is my favorite, but as you know, it's very hard these days to make a mark with the music. Perhaps if I was like a touring type of musician, I could do something there, but I'm pretty much content there just to do what I do and express myself, as I'm sure a lot of you are with your painting. You may be just content to express yourself and get better and pursue mastery, and I think that's awesome. And of course, we can move from there into realms of selling your work and getting acknowledgement from your peers and from gaining students, and then all of that. And I think I mentioned on the last easel talk, you could definitely start your own channel, even if you're starting out as a painter. And this is the thing, we all know when we look at your work exactly where you're at. Okay, there's nowhere to hide. We know, all of us know. But whatever you have learned, you can teach. You can teach starting very early on. If you've learned how to make a nice color like Mike's green that'll help people, put out a video, start recording it. And also, it's a good way for you to document your entire painting journey as well. And I've certainly improved quite a lot since when I started doing videos on this channel in earnest back in 2015. It's all documented, it's all there for you, and I hope you're getting some real value. And if you are getting value and you've watched this far, it's not hard to hit the like. Please do, and leave me a comment if you can, and come back. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time. And if you're a person making paintings, I totally appreciate you, because you are what humanity's about. Until I come back, take good care, stay out of trouble, fight the power.